Hello, I'm Adriana and welcome to the channel. In order to access higher vibration information and energy from the other side, I have worked on myself, on my issues, and on my vibration every single day for the past 8 years. This has allowed me to become a clear vessel of information for those on the spiritual path wanting growth. So today I have a reading for an individual, someone who needs help today, someone who needs a little bit of insight. Let me see. I'm going to shuffle the deck a little bit, and while I'm doing that, let's just take a second to align our energies. You could just take a few deep breaths with a big exhale sigh, just getting back into this present moment. Letting whatever's bothering or concerning you, we'll get to that. But for now, let's just create a space in front of and around that. And if you could pull your attention up to your crown and envision almost like a funnel of white light just kind of opening there. Bringing your awareness down to your feet and ending in the space right behind your breastbone. Okay, now I'm going to see who I'm talking to, and then we're going to go ahead with what's going on. I apologize for the shaking. It tends to happen when I shuffle. All right, I'm getting a combination for the person that I'm talking to. You're in a moment where, wow, this is really interesting. You're in a moment where you feel like your hand is being forced to make a decision, and this decision very much has to do with either cutting yourself off from the past or cutting yourself off in order to protect yourself. There's a really interesting visual shape happening here. It's almost like we're suggesting a pyramid, which is, so triangle like that pointing upward is masculine energy, asking for clear thought, asking for clear action. This is a call to be very bold, to, I hate talking in negatives, but I'm getting to not hesitate, to move forward in the steps you need to take for yourself. There's also, these cards are asking for a really honest and almost critical eye on what has been going on with you. There is no sentimentality. There are no cups here. There is no kind of softness or giving people a break, giving someone a break. This is about being very clear with what has been going on, very clear about the dangers it may be causing for you, and very clear about your course of action forward really needs to align with cutting yourself free of these negative, harmful energies. I'm getting wake-up call. So can you tell me a little bit more about this situation, please? And I'm also getting that you really need to be unafraid, be very bold in your time, in this estimation of yourself here. We've got a redhead with a sword, and redheads are known for their fiery temper, but they're also, because it's a less common hair type, it's really to me about uniqueness and being willing to be yourself. And often when you're cutting yourself off from someone who is harmful, it is because you are stepping into more of yourself and you're making a bigger delineation between you and the other person, what was okay with you in the past and what is okay with you in the future. And so in doing that, it almost can make you seem like an outsider because you're truly stepping outside of the world you were just in. All right, situation, we've got the Elder of Fire, the Chariot, and the World. So is the Elder of Fire the person I'm reading for, or is it someone in their life? A little bit of both. Okay, so we're looking at possibly fire sign energy. If you're a fire sign or the other person is either fire sign, it has some of the similar energies. Oh, I see. Okay, I see what's going on. Basically, this person is determined to move forward and essentially create the world in their image of what they feel the world should be. And they're very tunnel vision in this idea of what the world should be. They don't really think about, well, what is the other person really like, or what would be good for the other person, what is nurturing for the other person. It's very much, I have an idea of the way the world should be, and I'm going to fit everyone into that world. It's very dictatorial in a way, very controlling, very, very one-sided. And what was I going to say about that? Something about the one-sidedness. This isn't someone, this is not nearly the extent of things to which you're going through, but this kind of energy here reminds me of every time I buy a plant for inside and I try to force fit it into a pot that I think is really cool, but it's maybe not the best pot for that plant, the plant ends up dying. And I mean, it's not really funny that a plant dies, but do you see how that kind of forcing something into a box can cause a part of that growth or a part of that living to die? I haven't done this for a long time, like maybe 20 years, but I used to do it a lot when I was younger. So that is the type of energy that you have been under. Someone who feels they are entitled to do these things, or to have this view, or to kind of make these sweeping proclamations about what you should be doing or how you should be doing it. The sitting on a throne is interesting. They tend to put themselves above you. They tend to talk down to you. If this is a situation where this person is narcissistic, and that is likely in this case, they may, again, want to belittle you, take away your respect for yourself, because, again, they're sitting up on a throne. And the throne being on fire is interesting too, because that tells me that they're unreachable. They can't be, and look, the fire continues onto this card. So everything they do, it's like you can't touch them or reach them, because you will literally be burned by what they have to say. Look, the fire on this judgment card that we had here. But you're cutting yourself off. You're taking back that fire. Hair is personal power. So you're taking back that fire, the personal power that protects you and stands up for yourself. You're taking that back. So advice on the next steps here. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, another fire card, 8 of Air, Queen of Water, and Page of Earth. Okay, so we've got Earth and Water essentially being the advice cards for you. And what I feel these cards are saying is, take your emotional state, take your emotions as a cue. And that means take what you're feeling very seriously. 8 of Earth will work hard to find evidence that what you're feeling is, you have a reason to be feeling it. See, feelings are so tricky sometimes, because emotions tend to be our reaction to life. And they happen because of the way we see the world, the way we see things. So if I don't know, if a glass breaks, if I break a glass, I might be happy, sad, or neutral, right? Sad because the glass meant so much to me. Happy because maybe I hated the glass and I get to get a new one. Or neutral, just like, oh, it's a glass, I can get something else. But that is the same thing happening, but 3 very different emotional responses to it that had to do with my belief system about the glass. So following your emotions for the cue is really tricky here, because if you're in a situation where someone has been belittling you or causing you to lose respect for yourself, it's going to be hard to read your own emotions. Okay, so then what? There is an underlying recurring current that appears to be happening with you, something that you just can't shake off. There's no amount of rationalizing or someone telling you, no, just snap out of it, or no, what are you talking about? That's insane. It still stays with you. And what I feel like the surrounding cards are talking about, Eight of Earth and Page of Earth, not only do you have some luck, you have some help with this process, but it's saying collect data, collect information. If you feel this way, ask yourself why you're feeling this way. If it happens to do with how this person is treating you, if you notice when this person treats you a certain way, this emotion intensifies, write all that down. Keep a record of that. Again, this is repeated action, doing something over and over. So your awareness of this will help you, Wheel of Fortune, attract a change in fate, attract a change in circumstance. And what I love about this is look at the fire on this card, and look at how she's got the fire going on. And then our original card was white. We've got white on the other side. So this is literally you changing and alchemizing the situation so that either you manifest a way out, or you manifest a stronger clarity about your self-possession, self-respect, and your empowerment. Okay, what's going for you? What's going against you? Okay, Page of Water, Temperance going for you. What's going against you? A lot of flow. So I would say that's a lot of messages, help from the other side. It's the Page of, oops, I just had a few cards fall out, so hang on a second. Six of Water and the Queen of Earth are what's holding you back. So the tie to the past, which has to do with a mothering energy, the desire to mother, or still hanging on to that role of mothering. What else is going on in here? Okay, I'll come back to what is going for you in a second. I want to go with what's going against you. The Queen of Earth is a grounded, rooted energy that doesn't like to move, but she also tends to, because she's so nurturing, because she's so giving, she tends to soften what happens to her and soften what has happened to her in the past. It's like, oh, it's not so bad. It's okay. I can take it. You know how we ground electrical outlets into the earth because the earth is what can absorb excess charge. It's kind of like that. You're so capable of taking on a lot, taking on excess things that aren't yours, that it's hard for you to say it's a problem. Okay, but I do feel that there's, again, the theme that keeps happening in your favor is water, and water is the companion to earth, whereas earth is water contained in order to be a support. Water is the flow that nourishes the earth. And so the more you can allow yourself to really feel what's going on instead of just being a slave to duty and slave to what you think you have to do, the better off you're going to be. Now, Page of Water. Now, I'm getting that your desires are heard and your desires are answered. So if this is a desire for a new relationship, a better situation, it is heard. But what you really need, and I believe that you have, is a space of calm, just kind of how do I say this? It's like, even though your eyes are forced to see things for what they are, and you're making a judgment, the temperance is saying that there's no rush. You still can cultivate this feeling of calm, this feeling of, I've got all the time in the world. This isn't about making chaos or having an incredibly chaotic situation. It's more that you have what you need at your disposal. And so don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to make more time for yourself to really figure this out. Okay, so show me what the future looks like. If all of this information is taken into account, what does the future look like? Nine of Air, Three of Earth, the Sun, and the Death card. All right, and we're converging on the middle of this spread. Okay, so it looks to me like once the Sun being here is a very good omen. The Death is also a very good omen. Once you've gone through the transformation or the transition, you find a lot of success with those who are aligned with you, wanting to help you. There may be a little bit of worry or stress, either about asking for help or about maybe it's like a little glitch before you find the people that want to help you. But ultimately, working together, you create this incredibly successful, incredibly, when I say beneficent outcome where you actually end up shining again. You actually end up full of vitality, full of joy, because of how you've come through, again, the Death. You've left an old way and you've come to a new way. So I do see you moving on. I do see you moving forward constructively. And I do see you being able to, I love this, she's illuminated. You see that light going and then this illumination here. So you have the light shown to you and shown for you. It's really good. You have a lot of support and a lot of positive reinforcement. I think here is you maybe fear that people won't get it and they won't understand, or maybe you'll be judged, or you make it worse than it is, because it's funny, this is a really odd color for a moon, isn't it? It's almost sick looking, like the moon is sick. But then it turns out all of those fears were not even real, because the light is really strong. It's really vibrant. Okay, any last words for this soul, please? All right, the Fool, take a chance, take a risk. Now again, remember we were talking about the red hair. Red hair again. Lots of red hair with the purity of the white. So this is about being yourself, taking that risk to be yourself and opening up to new possibilities, to new ways of being, a way of life where you're not so hunted, a way of life where you're not constantly having to defend yourself, and really cherishing the sweetness that is in front of you. All of these pink flowers, that's like this very innocent, sweet, loving energy that is there for you to, I hate saying dream about because it sounds like that's just off, but it's to set your sights on and believe in. That's what that pink is there for. It's also to remind you that in every step of the way here, you are loved unconditionally by your higher self, by your guides, and by the whatever higher energy you want to call it, source, the divine, the other side. There are a lot of opportunities opening for you when you really believe that the sweetness is there for you to build on. Okay. I'd just like it to take a moment to close this reading. Thank you to everyone who came through for us. Thank you for all the help, for the information. And thank you for the connection between myself and you, that we can enter into this space together and discover more and more. All right. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon. If you would like to work with me more closely, or in some kind of, in a spiritual mentorship, please check out my website, soulguidancewithAdriana.com. There's a link in the description below, and I will see you soon.